When you don't have papers, when you don't have documents as a child going to school, that is what happens. People used to laugh at me for not having kickers. I couldn't afford kickers. My shoes were from East Street. My black school trousers were from East Street. This was before my school changed colours. They were from East Street. I couldn't afford these things. Like, I couldn't get these things, and people would laugh at me, and it felt so isolating. Like, and because of all the other things that I was going through, there's so many times I would just cry and cry, like, why do I have to live like this? Like, why does this have to happen to me? Hey there, lovely people. Girl Fran, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another video for you, and today I want to talk about something that I've touched on a little bit, but I feel like I want to go into more detail, and that is talking about what it's like going to school, going to uni in the UK without papers. I know a lot of people probably go to uni and they have their status, they have papers, but I know sometimes with school there are a lot of people who can possibly go to school or college and they don't have their papers yet. And I wanted to talk about the effects of that, how that can affect you in your day-to-day life. I mean, there's an obvious effect, which is on you not being able to access mainstream benefits, you not being able to access higher education, and not being able to work. But as a child or young person, when you don't have your say, it affects you internally. It's not just not being able to get access to the things that everybody else who's your age are able to. It's that sense of belonging that you lose. It feels like you're alone in this boat. There is no one else there that's going to help you, or it's so isolating. That's the right word, because it feels like there is no one else in that same situation. But there are actually people, like the amount of people who come to my workplace who are in need of help, and I know in other organizations as well, there are people who are going through this. There are young people, there are children, and sometimes, well, a lot of the time maybe you're told not to talk about it, or you feel like, no, I shouldn't even talk about this, because if my friends find out, they're gonna laugh at me. If my friends find out, they're gonna bully me. If my friends find out, they're gonna segregate me. And when I was in sixth form, I felt like I hardly made much friends in sixth form. Like, I hardly made much friends. Like, I knew people, acquaintance here and there, but like, to say that friends that I've maybe kept in touch with in sixth form, I have no one. And it's because I felt so isolated. Like, I felt like I can't wear what you're wearing because I don't have the money to be able to afford it. I can't get EMA, so the access to the things that you have access to, that you're able to buy, that you're able to eat, I don't have that. And so it felt like I didn't have anyone else, like, in my sixth form. I mean, I had friends from school who I had then found out they were going through similar things, but in terms of like sixth form, I didn't. So it felt like I was a bit alone. Like, I couldn't do the things that other people do. And I remember even when Instagram started off, I think I was just about going to uni, or just before going to uni, and I remember seeing these people, and I used to call them Instagram babes. I look at the Instagram baddies now, and guys, the weather is crazy. It's so windy outside. Like, we have like a storm. I think it's a storm because it's been crazy. But yeah, I used to look at them wear like the designers of the time and certain clothes, dressed in certain way, and I couldn't. I could just about barely get things. And if they ever announced any trips that it was to travel abroad in school, there was no way I was gonna be able to go on those trips without papers. Like, when you don't have papers, when you don't have documents as a child going to school. That is what happens. People used to laugh at me for not having kickers. I couldn't afford kickers. My shoes were from East Street. My black school trousers were from East Street. This was before my school changed colours. They were from East Street. I couldn't afford these things. Like, I couldn't get these things, and people would laugh at me, and it felt so isolating. Like, and because of all the other things that I was going through, there's so many times I would just cry and cry, like, why do I have to live like this? Like, why does this have to happen to me? And I know that there are children that might be going through this. Some of you, maybe you have parents, or maybe some of you watching this might even be parents who maybe you have kids who are going to school and they don't have their papers. I definitely understand what that feels like. I understand not being able to get access to what I literally remember people getting EMA and talking about, like, because I think if you were late to start college for that week, you would lose your EMA. There was a way it worked, and people would talk about it, and I was like, yeah, I can't get EMA, like, you know. And it was hard. It was hard financially, but more so that sense of belonging, especially when you've gone to school, like, in the UK. Maybe you were born here or gone to school in the UK. Like, I wasn't born here, but I'd come here at a young age. And going to school, you feel integrated into society and whatnot. And then these things make you feel like you're less of a person than another child, another young person. It's hard. It hurts you in a way that somebody else who might be a British citizen or might have their documents, that it doesn't affect them. It's really hard. And for me, it was that sense of belonging, like, oh my gosh, like, I really don't have a document that everybody has. Like, I don't feel like I belong. Like, I feel like I should be here. This is my home, but I feel like I don't belong amongst these people. I don't belong amongst these people at school. And uni wasn't so hard. By uni times, I was going on broadcast media, talking about my story of living in the UK without papers and the help that I'd gotten from charities. And I was sharing my story, so I was confident. I was not ashamed. Like, my uni friends, they knew. I told them, like, you know, like, this is, I don't think I just came out and told them, but I think it came up in conversation, and I wasn't afraid anymore. By uni time, I definitely wasn't afraid anymore, because I felt like people need to hear my story. People need to hear my voice. Like, I felt like there are more people like me. I know that there are more people in my situation, and people need to hear our stories. People need to, especially someone who a decision was made for you as a child, and you now have to live with it. You now have to make the most of your life, because that was my situation. I then had to make the most of my life. Like, when, like, people at uni would talk about, oh, planning a trip to go away, I couldn't get involved with that because I didn't have my papers. Like, not at the beginning of uni, first 2 years, I couldn't do that. I couldn't work. I'm so grateful to my scholarship sponsors who obviously were giving me a monthly allowance that I could live on. But yeah, in a way, it was like, wow, I'm so different from these people because of a paper. Like, literally, that's what it felt like. I'm so different from these people because of a paper. You feel like there's certain things you can't get involved in, even if you wanted to. Even if you wanted to, you obviously can't get involved in it, and you feel isolated. You feel like, who am I going to talk to that's going to understand me? Like, who am I going to talk to that's going to understand what I'm going through? There isn't anyone. There isn't. Or even the people, maybe they might have been in that situation. You feel like they're not going to understand. You feel like no one's going to understand. And, you know, maybe even people that you might have known that were in similar situation, maybe they have gotten their stay now before you, and or maybe, you know, their situation, their lives are different now, and you look at your life and you're like, oh my gosh, why is my life not moving forward? Why do I have to wait for this one document to, it can be really hard on your mental health. It can be really hard. But as I said previously, if you have friends that you can talk to, if you have people in similar situation, don't hide. Especially nowadays, like where we are, don't, like, if you hide away, it's just gonna make things worse. It's not gonna help. It's good, especially like I'm talking right now to children or young people who might be in the UK, and maybe you're going to school or college and you don't have your papers. I understand that frustration. I understand that waiting. You wait and wait and wait and you don't know what's gonna happen. But if you shy away from it and you don't try to tackle it and address it, it's not going to help it in any way. The Home Office is not just suddenly going to find you. Like, you need to make active efforts to regularize your status. You need to find a way. Look for charities. Like I always, in these videos, I always put links to charities in the description. Contact some of those charities, or just type on Google, you know, charity near me. And like literally, I used to go to Red Cross, go to Kids Company, go to this, literally, until one day there was a charity that could help me. But you need to be active. I don't want, even if it's someone at school, maybe they're going through the same thing, talk to them, because being able to talk to someone about this can help, honestly. Like, it really can, because you don't know who that person might know. You don't know what links they might be able to give to you. So open up, talk, call organizations, because the quicker you try to regularize your status, the quicker you're gonna get your papers. So yeah, that was kind of, you know, my experience of, you know, what things were like. It wasn't easy, it was really hard, but in the end I overcame. I found someone to talk to, and you know, I was lucky and fortunate and blessed enough to be able to get a sponsorship that you know, I was able to go to uni. But even at uni, until I got my stay, and at the end of 2015, I felt a bit isolated. Like, in many ways I wasn't like even in terms of like relationship, like being in a relationship, I felt like, do I even get in a relationship with someone? If I like someone or someone likes me, do I even get in a relationship knowing I don't have my stay? Does that affect the relationship? When I get in a relationship, do I tell the person? Like, all these questions, all these things, like, it was going through my mind, like, what do I even do? Like, what is the best thing to do? But as I said, the best thing is to talk to someone. Like, whenever I had any questions, I just went to the charity that was helping me and tried to speak to someone that could help. They were there for me like a family. And there were charities, there were organizations that are there that will help you, and they will be like that pillar that you need. You will have that sense of feeling of belonging, because a lot of the times, like my organization, we have a youth club where young people, refugees and asylum seekers and migrants who might be you know, newly in the country, or maybe they've been in the country for a while, and they don't have any friends, they don't know how to integrate in society, they're feeling alone. So we have that youth club where they come and they're able to do activities, play games, football, go on trips. So you meet other people. Honestly, like last summer I was working with these young people, and it was such an amazing time. We were able to take them on trips. Like, we went to the Natural History Museum, we went to the zoo, we went on a boat trip. Like, a lot of these young people, this was their first time ever going to trips like this. And you know, they were able to do it with people who were in a similar situation as them, who could relate, who could understand. And you know, they felt so free, they felt so happy. Just seeing their faces, so happy. Honestly, that made me so happy. That made me so happy. And even in my current project that I'm working, when these young people come for our youth meeting, and you know, they're able to share, to have shared experiences with other young people, and they're able to find solace, they're able to meet with other people who are in a similar situation. It helps them to open up more. It helps them to feel like, you know, I'm not in this alone. There are people who are in similar situation. So let me not shy away. Let me be open. Let me talk more. You know, I can meet these people. I can share things. Like, honestly, it's really good. So yeah, contact one of these organizations, and I'm sure that one of them will be able to help you or give you some sort of advice. So yeah, that is it for me, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe so that this video can reach many other people, and check out my other videos where I share on what it was like growing up in the UK for 10 years without my papers, and how I've been able to navigate my life through the UK immigration system for the past 15 years. Yeah, so check out my other videos, and see you again in my next video. Bye.